Hey everybody, old folks here. I'm a day late on my usual question and answer. Just been crazy busy with 6 kids and shotgun practice, pole vaulting practice, 20 other things. So I wanted to go ahead and do the video today, get it out there for y'all, answer some questions, and talk a few more things about some upcoming stuff. I uploaded a video on the patch that's coming out. Gerber's going to get an awakening, so we're going to really kind of question if that's going to bring him into mainstream play, if it's going to bring him out of the shadows that he's in and into more of a viable team option. I think definitely going to see some good love with him on that. Obviously, if you use him with Delphos, you know he's great in Subteria for that. And so let's kind of jump in, talk about your questions, and then I'll talk a little bit more about some of the other things that have been taking place in the world of Magic Rush. So as I look at some of the questions, one person, Brian, asked, hey, do you know if Sebastian's shields stack with each other? You know, if you set up 2 shields at a time, is it double absorbed, or, you know, how does it work? Basically, you only get 1 shield at a time, so you can't, like, stack multiple buffs. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a shield and be inside of Max's force field and get some perks from that. But like with Neza here, I'm going to go to Neza. And his shields that he gets for his skills. We're going to go here. You know, he starts casting all these different shields and things like that. These do not stack with the other shields like from the Behemoth set. So they kind of mess up each other. So that's why you don't run a Behemoth set on him. You run the dragon set. So shields do not stack in that regard, so they kind of interfere with each other. Alma's awakening, you know, what do I think about it? Could have been better. I've got some friends that have awakened Alma. I don't have her awakened. That's down the road. I can barely keep up with what I've got right now. I'm currently working on Poulon and finishing up Sue's. I'm going to do some awakening videos that I've finished up in the last few days. I finished up Solomon. I finished up Muses, and so we'll kind of go from there. But you know, it's not as great as people would hope. Now you can obviously heal the spirits. Obviously that means the demon spirit can be healed, king spirit, whatever you want to call it, which keeps the alive longer and does some more damage, but it's not what they were hoping for. And of course we're not getting into the whole team build people were kind of hoping for. Let's pull it up. Alma. With the rock and roll group, people were really hoping for a rock and roll group kind of, you know, leader that's going to bring something. He didn't get that. Media, she didn't get that. Media didn't get that. So I don't know. Then I've got a question from Nighthawk. You know, what's your thoughts on maxing talents? You know, getting to level 5. You know, it takes quite a bit to get to level 7. We're gonna go here. Talents. And so what the question really kind of boils down to here, and I've got different people I'll pick through. You know, some people build these up. I've got a buddy that's got his Sue. All of these are level 7. Takes forever. You know, but getting them up to level 5 and then saying, okay, maybe after that. And I'll be honest, this plays a large part in your hero's power. It does take time. I kind of say focus on the captain skill that you need for your main team. So like I'm running Chavez. We'll go to Chavez here. And so his stone skin aura is currently 6. Obviously, next level, you know, it's 100 damage more basically prevented per attack. You know, I would say get to kind of where you want it. You know, I can't get it till he's level 90, so I've stopped. So I've been working on some of my heroes and getting these skills up. I think it's beneficial. Again, pick the people that you're going to use. Don't just blow them on everybody, but also make sure when you're doing them to check out the talent combo down here. And these are some free, easy ways to get bonus points. You know, I've got to have 4 people up to level 1. Well, I use him, I use her, I use her, I use him. That's real simple. You know, again, same thing here. They all get this bonus. I use them all. So those are kind of no-brainers there. But yeah, getting up to 5, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I would definitely focus on my heroes that I'm going to go for once I've got my captain skill that I'm really aiming at. Do I think there's cheaters in the game? No. I've got a buddy who, back in my old days, I played around hacking. We won't get into that. And he does some API stuff or APK, whatever it's called. And you know, what you can hack is really minimal. There's a lot of server stuff. It's not going to carry over. So are there cheaters? Yeah, like I had a guy in my alliance who was cheating on the team raids to always win. Well, I mean, come on, that's stupid because you're hurting your own allies. But two, I mean, it's easily catchable. You can cheat passing stages for the campaign side of the experience part and the tower dungeons. You know, you can easily Google it and watch it if you want, but you can cheat your way through here to give yourself money to pass these stages. You can't do it in War Guardian because it's actually, you know, tracked. So there's a lot of stuff you can't do. So is there cheating on a small scale, but not like some guy's going to kill you in the arena, or some guy's going to destroy you in the World Kingdom maps? No, not like that. People talk about, let's see, how the carrier works. It's still confusing. Basically, when you're ready to use the carrier, we just used it the other day. Takes forever to load. Where's my carrier at? Come on! Where did the carrier go? Somebody moved it on me. Somebody moved my carrier on me. There it is. So I've got to wait for it to refresh. You can either build it up, whatnot, but how to use it basically after it's constructed and it's ready to take off. Basically, you tell it where you want it to go. People have an option at that point to get into it, and then you move it to where you want, and you know, they get a bonus for it. So it can carry up to 30 people, and it gives an extra 35%. So obviously it's pretty awesome with your I'm not going to build. I don't know why I clicked on that. The amount of damage you're going to do to another person's citadel. So it's huge. Great when you're raiding someone else's citadel. Do you use Eternal Ice or Healing Cloak on Jacob? I use the Healing Cloak. Matches with his lifesteal. That's what I want him to do, is to stay alive. So that's where I kind of go from there. That's probably the best item you're going to get. You know, when you look at his other stuff here, Dink, Jacob. You know, it just for me, you know, you want him to stay alive. You know, and that's really kind of the best thing you're going to get here. So you're getting a 20% regen effect, which keeps him way alive, compared to a 17%, which isn't bad. But I mean, for that to really be advantageous, you got to be in the back row. I'd rather lifesteal myself and jump to the back row and stay alive and do damage versus only affect the people up front. That's just my opinion. How do I play on a computer? I'm currently running BlueStacks. I've tried Nox. They both kind of work equally okay. Some people swear by Nox. Some people swear by BlueStacks. I stick with BlueStacks just because I know it. I don't know. There you go. Crystal Dungeon 137. You know, has 2 monsters that are immune to physical damage. And I basically just have physical attack heroes. You know, what do I do? You know, your problem is you've got to look at building a team that's got some magic, and that's hard. Now, one of the things I did was I raised my Solomon. I'll do a video on him here. I awoken him. He does good damage. His awakening skill, you know, we talk about it later, does damage. You know, he's a cheap, easy freebie that you can get up there. Any of these other free heroes do great jobs. Emily's awesome in the Crystal Dungeon area. If you got time, you know, Diacan or Organa, those are some freebies, some good ones, kind of stuff like that. Sorry, I was checking my message here. So, you know, I would kind of go with there. Some people, you know, they talk about trying to lower their ranking in the arena for when you do the Crusades, to try and get a better opponent. I've tried it before, and it doesn't work as well as I would. I got a perfect run. As well as I would hope it does. Part of it, I think, is it calculates based off of your level as well as your arena rank. I think for you to truly maximize the best chance for an easier Crusade pass, you'd have to really drop down. So I'm currently sitting in, I think, position 8. I was 2 earlier. I mean, somebody knocked me down, I think. Maybe I'm 6. I'm 6. I was 2. I finished first last night again. Ooh, I sniped it at the end, baby. It's bad. It's bad. I'm just gonna show it off. So yeah, I bought it right. I beat it, and then right when the server ended, they beat me, so I got it. But anyways, you know, I'd have to drop way down there to get an easier team. I mean, I probably have to drop in the 50s or the hundreds. So I don't think it helps that much unless you're willing to really take a hit to your diamond income. And if you're in the hundreds, 200s, you're probably gonna have to drop 300, 400, 500 spots to make it better. That's really kind of one of those places that I've seen there. And then do I see patterns, you know, in the games as far as sweeping runes, and I do see patterns, but nothing I can like control. Honestly, it's so random. They make it so when you sweep, you're only going to get so many runes before you don't get a rune. And I've tried sweeping twice, getting my rune, going elsewhere, sweeping a few times to not get the rune I want, and going back, and it just doesn't work. I've tried, and I haven't found a pattern there, so I really can't answer that. People ask me, do I still play League of Legends? I don't. I did. I used to be diehard, and my wife said I had to stop because I played way too much. My kids and I played, so I don't play it anymore. What about Little Red or Bibbo? Who do you use for a back rower? I'd use Little Red. Little Red's got a great little back row attack, especially now with the update to her. And what about time consuming on this game? You know, it seems like it takes up a lot of time. It can, and it can also be done real quick. The server restarts. I can be done in 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops, with just everything I need to do. Probably the longest is if you got to do your crusades. You know, if you're doing your what's that thing called? Magic squares. I mean, you know, that stuff takes time, but there's not much to do once you blow all your stamina outside of being in a war or a throne war, something like that. The last thing I really want to talk about then comes down to this whole changes that came out with the sleep mechanics. If you're familiar with the patch before this, where they changed the sleep mechanics supposedly, you know, basically now if they receive multiple effects, the additional effect is cut in half with a minimum duration of 1 second. So what this means is the more times you put to sleep, the less time you spend asleep. But the problem is you're still asleep. So the first time Pagani puts you to sleep, if you don't get woke up, you're going to be asleep for a long time. Then you finally get woke up. Oh, great. Then you get put to sleep again. That doesn't mean you're just suddenly 1 second. It's just half that long time, which, I mean, can be a long time. By then, if you're still alive, you know, after all that time, well, then you're pretty awesome, because you should be dead. If you put to sleep multiple times where it's finally 1 second, I mean, it just ain't going to happen, Captain. So, basically, they changed, you know, the nightmare damage. They changed the nightmare damage again on Jasmine, on Pagani. They increased the sleep time. I don't understand it. I mean, they basically made the sleep team very powerful. In fact, I beat some teams with sleep teams that I normally couldn't, just because you throw in a Sebastian, it speeds them up, and whoop, everybody goes to sleep and do some crazy stuff. You know, that's probably the one big thing people have argued about, is how do I deal with that? And now with Slash coming out there, I did a video on Slash. He really does a great job against sleep teams. There he is. So I've ran him against sleep teams that I can't normally beat as well. Put him in there, and it's just a cakewalk, because he just kills everybody, or hits your teammates and allows you to kill everybody. So I really like him. One of the other things I want to talk about, and some people ask me some questions, are, you know, what about, like, you know, we've got a guy here, Xerxes is 100,000, 90,000 points ahead of me, and they're like, how do you still beat him? Well, you'll see this. There's 4 failures, and well, there's more than that. I know my team can beat him 1 out of 7 times. I just need it to be right before the server resets, and go from there. And so that's kind of what it is. I know I can beat it. It's kind of positional stuff. I don't think it'll show it. I think I've expired. Oh, is it going to show it? Oh, is it not? Oh, wow, it actually showed it. I'm surprised. So we're going to watch this. Here I am. I'm basically 90,000 points less power. And on this one, you know, he's using the Wings of Origin. It's going to destroy my Chavez right at the beginning of the battle. You know, Coco's going to drop down. Wings of Origin's going to hit, you know, bam, 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 and I don't know where he went. So what this one thrives off of is getting her to get her ult off, catching these people here. You know, obviously it missed it, just barely caught on the edge, but it was enough for her to get her energy back so she can pop it again. Once that happens, you know, it's going to do damage. He's going to hit. Now Smoke's obviously going to kill my guys, but I basically destroyed all the damage, so there's no damage. And then from here, you know, you're going to die. You know, I mean, I know it's going to happen. I'm fighting Smoke, pulls over. I mean, the Noel Snow is the main key to this thing combined with Zoe. And so the fight goes on, and it's over. Not a bad fight when you compare the power. So when we look at, you know, the power difference here, obviously, you know, beat on everything, but it's all damage right here. I mean, that's the bread and butter of everything, you know, shut down everybody else. So, you know, you might run that same team 10 times and only win 1 out of 10. That's okay. You just need to win that one time at the right time. So you can do that. I'm about 8,000 points away from level 90, so I'm getting close to level 90, at which point I'll hit rune cores, and I'll show you exactly what I do with a brand new account hitting 90 and rune cores, how I'm going to spend. That's kind of about it for this question and answers. If you got any other thoughts, any things you're wondering about, gameplays, mechanics, teams, different other aspects of the game, feel free to ask them. My goal is to answer those questions on Friday. I apologize for the tardiness in this one. I hope you all are doing well, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.